Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with a Content Guy. So I'm fascinated by companies that try to figure out how to address consumer pain points, consumer problems, before consumers even realize they have a problem or have a pain point, before they're feeling any pain. I mean, isn't that the magic of what companies like Amazon and Apple do, right? They figure out where they need to go before the consumer even knows they want something in that particular area. And I'm really interested when little small companies come up with just a little tweak on something or some major insight even that oh wow, if we did it that way, we could solve a significant problem. And a company I came into contact with recently kind of reminded me of this and listen, the problem is well known. We've been talking about this for years. The idea that most people have no idea what they're going to have for dinner at 5 o'clock at night. And lots of companies, retailers, manufacturers have come up with varying solutions to that problem. Sometimes it's meal kits, sometimes it's components, sometimes it's prepared food, whatever it happens to be. They've come up with solutions to that. But the thing about those solutions, it seems to me, is that they're largely consumer driven, right? I go to the store or I go online and order either chicken parmesan that's already made or a chicken parmesan meal kit because I've decided I want chicken parmesan. It requires me to make the first move. They have lots of options, but they're never making the first move. They're not really being proactive about it other than having product there that people might want. So this is where this company comes in. The company's called Fleet, and I'll actually put a link to their website in the text version of this. And it's kind of an interesting construct because, first of all, a lot of it is more driven by consumer behavior, number one. And number two, it seems like the kind of solution that could be adapted by restaurants, convenience stores, supermarkets, anybody that happens to be in the food business. And that makes it kind of interesting. So the idea, as I understand it, is they have this algorithm. And basically what it does, it analyzes consumer purchase behavior. And then it takes that behavior, and what it does is it overlays it or mixes it somehow with geographic behavior. They call it, what do they call it? They call it patented street logic technology. So when they send a delivery truck to a neighborhood, they're not just delivering products that people have asked for. What they've actually done is stock the truck with products that people have demonstrated they want because they've either bought them before or they've offered products that are similar to it before. And then what they do is they send people who have signed up for it an app to say, hey, we're in the neighborhood, and here's what we have. And if I've shown a preference for certain kinds of products, they're going to have those products on it, and they can outfit the whole truck that way. And it's really kind of interesting. The whole thing is customized. It's totally targeted in terms of what customers have done before, and it sort of reminds me of the old ice cream trucks, right? Except instead of a bell, they have an app. And instead of having chocolate eclair or creamsicle bars, which would always be my favorite, they have either chicken parmesan or seafood risotto or whatever it happens to be, because I've already determined that and I've proven that that's what I want. It's really kind of interesting to me. I'm intrigued by it. Now they've been testing it with an Orlando area restaurant called Farm and House. But as I understand it from talking to the folks there, they got a couple of pilots and a couple of tests, and they're ready to do different things to identify the long-term feasibility and viability of this product. And like I say, I think it's totally cool. Listen, there's no question in my mind that retailers, whether you're, again, a restaurant, a convenience store, a supermarket, they're all looking for ways to differentiate their brick-and-mortar stores and whatever digital component that they have. And the thing that I think is interesting about this is it's actually kind of bringing all that information together and providing a solution that in a lot of ways parks a highly targeted truck right in your driveway, right? It's that truck is essentially a mini store that reflects your taste, and they're parking in your driveway. And that strikes me as kind of cool, and the kind of thing that might have long-term implications for retailers that give it a shot. And listen, I think this is the kind of stuff that retailers, again, whether you're a supermarket, convenience stores, restaurant, it's the kind of stuff you have to be paying attention to. It's the kind of stuff you have to be testing, right? You have to do lots of different things to see whether or not you can move the needle and really differentiate yourself with product and service offerings that are not just differentiated, but also are incredibly relevant and incredibly resonant to the consumer. From what I know about this, yes, it's early days, it kind of meets that test. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.